We're live.
Oh, we are? Okay, good. Let me get in there.
Just so why am I the person to say we're live? Because I can see it on my end.
And I can't.
And Kira can't because she doesn't see it on her end because we're using,
Ecam Live.
yes, a third party.
Fancy. Because if we go live together just on the page, I don't know, it's just not as effective. Like,
No.
what happened? Was it somebody smaller and, I don't know.
Right. So like, let's say if you go live on your phone and then you invite me, what happens is I show up on the top, whereas you're showing up on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're like perfectly split in the middle, which if nobody knows Ecam Live, it's kind of neat because we are Skyping.
Yes.
And then
Oh, hi,
she gets on
Kristen.
Ecam Live and then shares it to the group. It's a whole process. So it's always like, wait, are we on? Are we good? Did it connect to that?
Yeah, but with the Ecam Live too, look, I can put the comments on the screen. So Kristen is here and she said hi. And I guess she can hear us.
Hi, Kristen. Oh, good. Okay. Yep, I see us.
All right.
Hi, Kristen.
So without further ado, it's happy hour with Kira and Denise. I am not drinking. I'm taking a break. I had a long day today, but this one is.
Which is funny because last week you drank and I didn't. This is my one drink the week. But although if you guys can see, it's so tiny. It's like a shot. It's this stuff we found on sale at Whole Foods called Wild Roots. It's like an all natural not honey, huckleberry flavored vodka. It is strong. Like I wouldn't even know what to mix it with. So I'm just like,
What's the percentage of the alcohol in it?
I don't know. It's strong. I need to look.
Like 50%?
I think it's really 10
like the rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, strong stuff, but whatever.
Okay, so we are going to talk about straws today.
We all deal with it.
Yeah, so briefly, before we kind of tell you about what stress does to the body, I think we want to talk about what it does to us and what we're going through. So I'll go first. Since we've had this whole thing happen, having with the leak with the house and fixing and stuff like that, I've been very stressed out and it's put a big toll on my body. I'm going actually for ultrasound on Friday and some lab work and whatnot. So I go through stress at work. Today, for example, something really weird happened after I gave a training at the SDC classroom. The SDC teacher gets a phone call and her husband, who she just married a few days ago, literally, tells her that her mother-in-law just passed away. And she just saw her yesterday. And this is the first time I see somebody receive news like that. So that was really stressful to me. And I can see the stress on her face. So someone's having wine, but I don't see their name.
Someone's having wine?
Yeah. So
no,
who?
It's, hi, Mom. She said having wine. I see. No, you just missed it. I'm drinking vodka.
Yeah.
But it's huckleberry flavored and it's super strong. So I'm having like the smallest and I'm just sipping it.
So that was like that. I mean, we all go through stress and it does. And like I was telling Kira briefly that when I am stressed out, I cannot digest food. I get indigestion. So I just don't eat because it really bothers me and it gives me stomach pain.
And it's funny because we both really get digestive issues with that. Like you lean more towards constipation. And for me, it's like when I'm stressed and even I'm talking sleep, like lack of sleep is stress on my body and it's stress on most people's bodies, but that affects me as well. And then I find myself running to the restroom all day. So it's the exact opposite effect.
Exactly. So let us know. I mean, if you don't like talking about it, I have something in mind. If you don't like talking about it, you can send us a DM and let us know how stress affects you or how stressed you are. But if you want to say it in the comments, definitely feel free because I'm sure that someone is going to read it and, you know, kind of like say, oh, me too, you know? So we're all in
And
this.
it can be personal. No one, like, stress is one of those things that is very personal. Like, I feel like when you talk about health and other things, it's like, oh yeah, no big deal. But then you start talking about stress and you ask people, what are your stressors? And it's very personal.
Yeah, exactly. So we totally understand. Even though this is a safe place, I mean, it's a group, it's not the page. So, but yeah, we would love to hear from you via DM or email or whatever to let us know also how we can help you with that.
Can you see? Denise is blind. Then let's talk about stress.
Let's talk about stress.
So it
talk about stress, baby.
Right. Let's talk about you and me. We all have stress. Like, there's no way to get around it. And when we talk to clients, that's always a question that we're asking. And it's a hard one too, because we're not therapists, but it's like, there's that delicate balance because people can say, oh, I don't have any stress. And I want to be like, I'm going to disagree with you. Everybody has stress. It's just how you cope with it. A new job, a new spouse, buying a house, kids, work,
getting married.
Yeah, like there's so many opportunities for stress in our day. I mean, just driving to work in your car, like, you know, if you get road rage, that's stress. Or if you're running late, that's stress. So we all deal with stress, but it's kind of how you handle it, which is the important part. And Denise, you were telling me, so I'll let you explain this, the whole sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, and the fact that like the bear versus the work. I like the analogy.
Right. So our bodies are designed, I mean, we have an innate fight or flight. So it was designed basically to help us survive from really dangerous situations. So think about like back in the day, like really back in the centuries.
Not like last week.
Not like last week or my kids back in the day to them is like when I was little back in the day. My daughter's like, back in the day, mommy, did you watch SpongeBob? And I'm like, no. But anyway, so we're talking like, cavemen. We're talking, you know, the first humans, they used to hunt for their food. They used to be attacked by animals. And that's why our innate system was designed to literally help us survive, right? So whenever, let's say, you know, the cavemen would be you know, hunting for animal, and now all of a sudden the animal is hunting for the human. Now it is the human's turn to actually run from that, and then the fight or flight is activated, and everything shuts down, because when you are fleeing for your life, when you're fighting for your life, you don't need to digest food. You don't need to make babies. You only need, your heart rate to go up, your blood pressure, everything has to be like alert, but everything that you don't need needs to be shut down. So now let's forward to now. We are not hunting for animals. We're not running for our lives. But the body doesn't know that. Like, it doesn't know, oh, she is late for work or she's having a really stressful meeting. The body immediately goes into the innate fight or flight response, and then it shuts down everything. Now, once in a while, stress like that, it's fine because the body is designed to activate the fight or flight. I'm not going to use like sympathetic, parasympathetic, because we're not in a biology class or chemistry class or whatever. But
cortisol is released from the adrenal glands, epinephrine or adrenaline.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically the body is designed, okay, fight or flight. Now we're done. I took care of business. I helped you survive. Now let's go back to balance. That's what the body is used to, right? However, when you're going from one stress to the other, to the other, to the other within like a week or a month or 2 months or 3 months or a year, 2 years, now that becomes chronic stress. Because just like inflammation that we talked about the other time, inflammation is a good thing because it helps you heal, right? But then when it comes chronic, this is when it becomes a problem. Same thing with stress. When you're experiencing it normally once in a while, okay, fine, whatever. But then when it becomes literally all the time and you're not managing it right and everything stresses you out, this is when it becomes chronic and it does start affecting your body. And I mean, I don't want to be too dramatic, but it kind of kills you silently. You know what I mean? Like you're not, because
that's why I call it the silent killer.
yeah, like it truly does, because we don't pay attention to it, and then we go to the doctor and then we start band-aiding. Oh, this is it. You know, like let's do this and let's do that to band-aid the situation, whereas your system's starting to get messed up because of that.
Well, and to give an example of that, so I'm looking at my notes. So anytime your stress raises, your pulse goes up. Obviously, I mean, think about it. Your heart's pounding in like a truly stressful situation. Blood pressure goes up, blood sugar goes up, fats go up, respiration, sweating. The immune system starts to shut down, digestive system, which Denise and I already touched on. We know for a fact that one happens.
Reproductive system.
Yes. And that is the other thing I was going to say. So many women have fertility issues. And yes, again, there can be multiple root causes, but the body does not want to get pregnant if you're in a constant fight or flight mode.
Do you know somebody who did IVF, right? Because they couldn't have a baby. And then once they had their babies and they relaxed and everything, they got pregnant naturally.
Yep.
I know few people that happened to them because now the stress of making a baby, of having a baby is gone.
Yep.
They get pregnant naturally.
Yeah,
So.
I know. And that's the thing. I mean, so if you think about all those things happening, again, like Denise said, it's not a big deal. It's a one-time thing. Like you go take a test and you're sweaty, your blood pressure goes up fine. You take the test, you're done. But like you said, if that keeps happening, then you're driving in stress. You're worrying about things that are out of your control. You get home and you're fighting with your spouse, and it's like, sure, some of that stuff you can't control.
Or you hate your boss.
Yeah, right. But yeah, over and over and over, that's not good for the body. You're not going to be in balance anymore. You're out of whack.
Yeah.
And then you're just on high alert forever. And that's where the whole cortisol thing comes in. People always talk about adrenal fatigue, and that'll be another day because that was a topic on there people were interested in. But yeah, cortisol is going to rise when you're in that moment. But think about what happens when you're constantly in that moment. What's going to happen to the adrenal glands?
Oh,
exactly. So,
and this is when the chronic stress, this is when your resources start getting depleted, because your body is just like, it's constantly not going back to homeostasis, to balance. Did you see what Kristen wrote?
Yeah. Did you say hit your boss, or did you say?
I said hate.
I didn't even hear that.
I said hate. She said, or hit your boss. What? Sorry. My boss. Accent. I just meant hate.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Well, hey, if that releases.
Exactly. If that releases your
we might be fired on that.
Wait, now Kristen's going to go and say, Denise and Kira told me to hit you.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Blame it on us, Kristen. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, when your body's not going back to balance, this is when everything gets depleted, and your adrenals and everything else. Like if your blood sugar is always going up and it's not going back to balance, then what's going to happen to your cells, to your insulin resistance,
and your digestive system and all of that. And that's the other thing I wanted to touch on too. Like, yeah, right now we're just kind of thinking like work, spouse, whatever, like the emotional stress or the outside stressors, but then there's physiological stress, internal stressors, infections, Epstein-Barr virus, so parasites, dysbiosis, so many different things can create stress inside the body as well. So people that tell us like, oh, I'm not stressed, but I have all these things going on and I don't understand it. Well, you are stressed. You just don't know what that stress is.
Because your body is trying to figure things out inside, and it's like, chaos is happening inside. You may not know about it, but then you have the symptoms.
Yep. And then your energy goes down.
And your energy goes down, yes. And you start getting anxious. A lot of like when you're depleted from your vitamins and nutrients, and you may experience anxiety and lack of energy, fatigue, lack of sleep.
That's a big one. The anxiety with the cortisol is huge.
It is huge.
Yeah. Well, then, we kind of talked about why chronic stress is dangerous, but I like our notes. Things that people don't think about. Let's touch on these. So
Okay.
mood issues, like you just said, anxiety, depression, but sleep issues, lack of energy, anger. Like if you find yourself in fits of rage, like it's usually coming on around stress.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Increased blood pressure and heart rate. You said that, but that includes cholesterol. And this is a common myth. Fats themselves do not cause high cholesterol.
No.
It's inflammation, and a lot of times that's due to chronic stress. Again, it can be an internal stressor. It doesn't just have to be like, oh, I have a stressful job, now I have high cholesterol. It doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Fat storage. So women are constantly trying to lose weight. Like, I can relate. For years, I was like, why can't I lose weight? Well, for one, I was inflamed, but I had chronic stress inside my body with all of my digestive issues. So if you're holding on to weight and you can't get rid of it, there's some stress going on somewhere in the body. If you're eating right, of course. Like, I'm not saying that you can go through the McDonald's drive-thru and eat that and, like, you know, I'm not stressed, but eating right and controlling stress. What are some other things?
Aches and pains in the joints and muscles. And that comes down to inflammation. It's kind of like everything that we're talking about is just tying
It's tied together.
Yeah, it's tying in stress, inflammation, and then chronic and all that. So just like our body was literally made to heal itself and to help us survive and all that stuff. But then nowadays, everything that's added to the food, to the environment, to the daily hustle that we have, that our body's like, dude, seriously? Like, this is too much.
Slow down.
Exactly. And then the inflammation. And that's why we see a lot of conditions right now that we weren't seeing before. So, and then aches and pains also can be associated to food sensitivities. Food sensitivities are stressors inside your body that you may not know about unless you actually, test for them or whatever. Reduced ability to recover from illness. So basically, again, the immune system is shut down. Your immune system.
If you're stressed out too, and then you get sick a week later, don't be shocked. If you're going through something really stressful, your immune system is really going to take a hit.
And I don't know if you have ever experienced that, but let's say you're even the good stress, for example, like you're planning for a wedding or for a baby shower or whatever, after that's done and when you get sick, right? A week later, a few days later, I don't know. I mean, I know I got sick after my wedding. Actually during and after. So it can be kind of like a sign, just like Kira said. Yeah. What else? Stomach cramps, reflux, and nausea, all related to digestive issues.
On that one.
All related to digestive issues. So, and this one is, loss of libido, lower sperm production in men, and absent or irregular menstrual cycles in women. So I've heard a lot of my friends or clients sometimes tell me, well, when I'm like really stressed out, I don't get my period or it's delayed or whatever.
Super common.
Very common.
I've seen that a lot. So, yeah.
And lower bone density.
Yeah. For postmenopausal, and you can't figure that out. It's a piece of the puzzle again.
It is.
Chronic stress, lower bone density.
And again, think about it, just like Kira said, and I'm saying too, like, it doesn't just have to be, like, sometimes, like, we have, like you said, people tell us, well, have a good life, have a good job, and everything is good, blah, blah, blah. But then again, you don't know what's going on in your body. If you have any aches and pains, if you have lack of sleep, or you're waking up, or you have crankiness, or moodiness, or anxiety, depression, ADHD, those are all signs of inflammation, of something happening inside your body. Weight gain.
Yep. Well, I had in my notes, almost every system in the body can be damaged by stress.
Every system.
Yeah. Everything. But again, you've got to think of other stressors. Like, there's the emotional stress that we're talking about. So that's why we're going to dive into that next. Like, what do you do? Because obviously we all have the emotional or external stressors. we've got to manage those, especially if you don't know what's going on internally. Like if you manage all the external stressors and your symptoms aren't going away and you're not getting better, that's a sign, okay, I've got to explore some other options. What do I need to do as far as like testing and figuring out what internal stressors are going on? So
Exactly.
let's talk about some tips. My favorite is breathing because I'm a slacker at the others. I'll be the first to admit it.
And if you have an iWatch, your iWatch reminds you. So don't tell me you're forgetting.
Well, and I'm not just talking like, you know, literally breathing. We're all breathing right now, but like some good deep breathing.
Deep breathing.
Box breathing is my favorite. So it's 5 seconds in.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it for 5 seconds. We should do this.
Okay, let's do this.
And then
do it with us.
Okay.
Ready?
But I want to talk you guys through it. So everybody who's watching this, breathe in for 5 seconds.
Hang on.
Hold it at the top for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Hold it at the bottom for 5 seconds. And then you repeat this 5 times, hence the box breathing. It is super helpful. Like, seriously.
Isn't that like there's a yoga term for it?
I've only heard it as box breathing.
I don't know.
I
think the yoga one is 10 seconds.
Other ones, yeah, but it's a helpful one. Like if you're just in the moment and you're stressed out and like road rage or you're getting ready to go.
That's so easy because it's built in.
Yeah, right? That's just, it's such an easy, I've had Ted do it. Like when he gets like super anxious, I'm like, chill out, breathe in.
Just really
hold. Like I walk him through it, but
at helping people chill out.
Yes. So if you find yourself getting anxious or tense or stressed out about anything, or you're just having a rough day, seriously, do that. It's just 5 times. It's not going to take you long at all. So,
because you can do it in the car. Like let's say if you're upset or
that's why that's my favorite one. Because literally you can do it anywhere. I don't care where you are. You can do it. And no
one will be knowing like what you're doing. They're not going to like, because you're not going to do it. Like right now, I just held it like this, but you don't have to like show that you're holding your breath for 5 seconds. So this is super easy.
Who cares if they know? So yeah, breathing, like, and there's other breathing techniques out there. That's just my favorite. So breathing is a good one. Body scan. Do you know that one?
No.
So I used to work at a birthing center in Nashville as their health coach. Okay. I did it for a short amount of time.
Nice.
And we talked about that with women going through, you know, the infertility that we just spoke about, stress. And so body scan, this is a different one. This is one that you want to do like when it's quiet, you're alone, you can be in bed, you can be sitting on the couch, but it's closing your eyes and it's literally starting from the top of your head and visualizing your head. And thinking, what do I feel right now? Do I feel my hair moving? Do I feel a breeze up there? And then you slowly start working down to your eyes. What do you feel behind your eyes? Do they feel empty? Do they feel heavy? Move them around a little bit. Going to your nose. Like literally, it's scanning your body.
So you're internally visualizing scanning your body.
Yes. And it's a slow thing because then you're like really focusing like my nose. What do I smell right now?
And that forces you to slow down.
Yes, because by the time you get through arms, and then you feel your hands, and then you're hearing things, and you're smelling things, and you get all the way down to
I didn't know about this. Like, oh my gosh, seriously.
Body scan is a good one because you have no
choice. I love these happy hours. I'm right? You know, we're all learning. Yes.
Yeah, body scan's a good one. If you don't, Google it if you don't know. Because I'm probably not explaining it super well. It's kind of a hard one to explain. But
you are.
Then you feel like right now, if I'm scanning my knee, I'm like, ooh, it feels a little tense right there. I feel a little tender, and I'm moving down. Oh, I feel it in my calf and my toes, and like.
It's kind of like the yoga when they tell you to like touch your whatever heart or your belly or something to like feel.
And it's similar because you can actually start to feel those areas of tenseness. Like literally when my eyes, I'm like, they do feel heavy. Like I'm tense there.
My eyes do feel heavy.
See? And then I get down to my legs. I'm like, oh my gosh, my legs are actually kind of like sore right now. Like, can I loosen that? So it forces you to relax just emotionally, but like physically relax.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know if you ever heard of it, or it's something really cool. I'm going to try it tonight.
I love the body scan, but I don't advise doing it like starting your day. It's more like ending, because it's so relaxing.
Okay.
Like, it can put me to sleep.
Nice. So at night.
Yeah, do it at night. I mean, you could do it during the day. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't know. Mom said, no, yes. Started yawning when you did box breathing. No, I started yawning when I did the box breathing with you. Does it mean I'm a shallow breather? No, it just means it's putting you in a sympathetic state. You're nice and relaxed now. That's not a bad thing.
And anyway, what time is it there?
8:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. You want to talk meditation?
Yes, meditation.
That's my lacking area.
Meditation. Okay, so you do not. Light is here. And better late than never. Hey, Light. You can watch the replay to hear more about the stress and all of the physiological stuff that we talked about. But now we're doing tips. So meditation, at the beginning, I was like, dude, I do not have like 500 hours to meditate. But the meditation does not have to be, and listen, I also can call it, if you're spiritual or you're religious or whatever, you can call it meditation/prayer. Because to be honest with you, sometimes when I'm really stressed and I need a distressor, I can go to a little chapel and then just sit there by myself for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And that to me is so relaxing. And that is meditation, because you're just sitting there, not thinking, not doing anything. Or there are so many apps. There's one that I like. It's literally 5 minutes. It's called Positive Meditation. You just sit there and then go through it with them. It doesn't have to be that long. So, meditation can be just sitting still and in quiet. I mean, and I know we're all busy working moms who have kids. So what I've done in the past is, before I pick up the kids or before just being in the car, what I would just do is I would just turn it off and just sit there for a few minutes and just kind of like breathe or visualize, or even turn on this YouTube video it's like 5-minute positive meditation. And, cause I really barely have the time to just like do, long meditation. So it doesn't have to be crazy. And if you prefer prayer, or if you prefer writing, then just do that.
Yeah.
The other one is prioritize your tasks and focus on one thing at a time. Okay.
That is like a super important tip, and such an easy one though, because we as women are prone to multitask.
And let me tell you something. If you want to stay smart, the smart woman, mother that you are, really, do not multitask, because there was a study by Harvard, and I did not come up with that. I watched the show and she told us this. You lose 10 IQ points when you're multitasking.
I'm laughing at this because the other day Denise said, hey, I need you to watch something. I said, no, I'm watching this and I'm watching this at the same time and I'm trying to type notes. And she said, stop it.
You're losing IQ points. I don't want you to lose IQ points. You are very smart. You don't want to. So literally, and when I stopped doing it, I was more productive. It's been recent. It's not, because I always multitask. But, seriously, my productivity went up because I would put the timer and I'm like, okay, so now I have 30 minutes to, pay the bills or something. And then when the 30 minutes is up, I'm done. I would even ignore messages from Kira. She'd be sending me messages on WhatsApp, like, what are we doing? The emails and the marketing things. And I'm like, I'm on a timer right now. Do not message me. So.
It's so important because, it's true. When we're multitasking and doing a million things, that's stressful. It really is.
It is. And then again, you forget things when you're multitasking. You're like, what am I doing? Oh, shoot, what am I doing next? And this and that. So it's not something that...
Yeah.
I think we take pride in it as women that, we're good at multitasking. Men are not multitasking.
I always rub it in Ted's face.
Huh?
I always rub it in Ted's face. I'm like,
me too. But then I seriously, I promise my productivity seriously went up when I stopped doing it. And then I noticed myself doing it again. Like today I noticed myself doing it at work. I'm like, Denise, stop one thing at a time. Just get it done. Because like if you're doing 5 things at once, something is not getting done.
That's true. Don't tell him that. I'm not going to say anything to Ted. But yeah, good point.
I won't.
Well, the other one, we are good at this. Take a laughing break. Like sometimes before Denise and I go live, we like laugh or jump around or like anything to just get your mind off of it. Mila talked about it in the 14-day lifestyle makeover. Like the whole, what's the word I'm looking for?
This,
pattern interrupt.
Right. Pattern interrupt. There we go.
Same concept. So break it up. So if you're not like in the laughing mood, then put on your favorite song. That's one thing I've started doing lately is like when I, like not just energy, like my energy's low, but like I feel like, oh, I'm kind of stressed or I'm anxious about something or I'm so busy.
Damn.
I put on music super loud and I start dancing or like you said, funny video.
I love funny videos, so I just go on Facebook or on YouTube and I look up some funny videos that, you know, just, or it can be like that. I'm sure there are jokes online or something, or dancing. Just to interrupt your pattern and just interrupt it and don't go down. Don't go down.
Yep. Keep your energy up.
And I know sometimes easier said than done, but these are just tips that you can use or not use. And sometimes, we've noticed ourselves where we're really stressed out and we are going downhill, but you know,
pick one of those strategies.
Pick one of those strategies.
But pick a strategy because something will kind of help you get out of that stressful moment so your body goes back to the sympathetic.
Cuddles and hugs.
Yes, that's a good one.
When I hug and cuddle and huggy and cuddles, everything melts away.
That's like with my son and my dog. Other one I had was ensure 10 minutes a day for yourself. I don't care what it is, but we, especially as moms, tend to do this. It's like all my time goes to...
But you're doing it wrong.
The kids and all that. I'm trying not to laugh. Just devote 10 minutes to yourself a day. Like that is, it's a small amount of time, but it's so impactful. Like do whatever you want for that 10 minutes. If it is a funny YouTube video or dancing around or just going off somewhere and doing deep breathing, but like allow yourself 10 minutes to just unwind completely with whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. Like it can be going for a walk or it can be cuddling with your kids or it can be playing a game. It can be taking a shower. I don't know, whatever it is, you know, because she got her acro costume. So this is what it is.
Fun.
So it can be anything that makes you zen, that makes you more, you know, happier.
Yeah. Well, then last tip.
This one is hard, but you know what? If I can do it, you can too.
Say no. Say no to things when you need no. And that's something I've been working on as well the past few months. Like, people ask stuff of me and I want to be, you know, nice and accommodating. But I'm like, this is adding more stress to my plate. So if you can say no when you truly mean no, just do it. Just learn to say no.
Remember, if you say yes to something, you're saying, if you're saying yes to someone else, you're saying no something to you. And no is a complete sentence, by the way. So it doesn't mean, and listen, I'm Lebanese culturally. You're like, well, if you say no, that's why we don't say no. We always say, we'll see. We'll see. And that I totally had to change that because no, we will not see. It is yes or no. And then I used to be like, no, but then you have to justify, well, I can't go because I'm like, no, I'm lying. I'm not telling the truth. No is a no.
Yeah. So learn to say no.
Yeah. And then this is how I think about it. I don't know how you think about it, Kira, but if it's going to interrupt something that I'm doing, if it's going to add more stress to my life, I'll say no to it.
Yeah. No, and that's something I've been working on.
Yeah. So maybe this one alone by itself, you can just practice it for a week or 2 weeks, and that's going to probably help you decrease some of your stress, you know, and then I mean, we gave you many tips, so just find what works for you. But please remember that stress can be the culprit in a lot of your conditions, a lot of your symptoms, and so don't take it for granted.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of tips. If you try any of these, we'd love to hear what works, how you guys feel about it, because other
or give us ideas of what.
Yes. Yeah. Other stress relievers that are working for you.
If there's something that you try and that someone had to tell me no is a complete sentence.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you do something to relieve your stress that we didn't talk about, please definitely mention it in the comments and let us know, because we can definitely, I mean, I didn't know about body scanning. I didn't know about, I knew about the breathing, but the 10-second one.
Yeah.
So that
and there's a book. I forgot. I left it downstairs, but there's a book. I'll put it in the comments later. But if you're like somebody that's truly struggling with stress, like the emotional stress, and you don't know how to get through it, there's a book I have downstairs that's fabulous that goes through like every single one of these. There's probably 20 different techniques in there, but they walk you through how to do them. And there's workbooks in there. Like, it is super helpful.
And
so
again,
I'll put it in the comments.
We want to reiterate, it's easier said than done. Sometimes if you're going through something really, really bad and really, really stressful, it's really hard to get out of it. We told it, Avi, no, don't do that. I have to see. What are you doing? Okay. We totally get it because we've been there. We've done that. It's just that it's okay sometimes to give yourself permission to feel sad or feel, angry or whatever. But then try to use one of the tips, and whether you want to write them on your phone or just have them handy somewhere.
Yeah.
Do what works for you.
And again, to reiterate before we get off, it does so much. Like all the autoimmune disease and everything that's on the rise. Yeah, there's environmental factors and everything else, but stress. Look at around us right now. Everybody is go, 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 and it continues to get worse and worse, I feel like. We're always on the go. And so that is a factor as well.
It is getting worse. It is. And it's important to slow down, whether for you, for your health, for your kids. It's important also to model for them, because if they always see us stressed,
it rubs off.
It rubs off, and they're learning it. And when they may not show you right now, but when they're older, you'll see it. So
yeah. I read, and I'm dragging this on, sorry, but I heard something a while back that really stuck with me, and it's how much kids absorb from you before the age of 7. So they pretty much model everything from you before the age of 7. So who you are modeling at that age is who they're going to become.
They're modeling your language. They're modeling everything.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't want to stay too long, but we want to remind you that the free 5-day Endless Energy program is still open for registration. If you haven't done so, make sure that you visit the link in the description of this video and sign up, because this is truly, it's going to be transformational for you, because it's not a cleanse. It's something way beyond that. And it is, giving you the tools and the, going deeper into finding the root causes, and instead of just band-aiding and things. We are going to give you recipes. We're not going to give you recipes. But make sure that you are signed up for it.
Yeah, we're going deeper this time. Yeah. And then I've had people ask, why do I need to sign up if you guys are doing the videos in here? Good question. We will be live in here, so you can still tune in even if you don't sign up. However, signing up, that's where we're just, to keep it easy for us, that's where the recipes and the ebook go. So all the recipes along with the schedule for every day with our notes and tips from those days.
Yeah.
So
and daily action steps. So make sure that you do. Just click on the link and enter your name and email. We start on March 4th. Yes. And March 2nd is, and it's always fun to do it with someone that, you like, your friend, your whoever. So make sure that if you want to refer them and, do it together, it'll be so much fun. And that's it. If you have any questions for us, let us know. Whether send us a message, an email, text message, Facebook Messenger, whatever. We're here for you.
Yes. And we will be live again next Wednesday, but the topic is to be
Be
determined.
determined. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Have a great evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.